Welcome to the Brady Bunch of Autism, your source for family, parenting, and all things autism and special needs. Created by our family for your family. Live from the Ed Asner Family Center. And now your hosts, Navah and Matt Asner. Yay! We're back!
We're back. Season 3.
Season 3.
Season 3.
It seems like we've been gone forever.
Well, welcome everyone. This is the Brady Bunch of Autism. We're a podcast that has to do with all sorts of things: autism, special needs, and marriage and kids and all that fun stuff wrapped into one podcast.
Wrapped into one package.
Wrapped into one package. So we haven't done this in a while. So what have we been up to?
What haven't we been up to, right?
It's been COVID. It's been COVID, like
how
4.
many months has it been since?
Well,
before?
it's been a while. It's been like since before the holidays. I
Yes.
think, right before the holidays.
Yes.
But COVID is still here, in case you didn't know. And we both had it, and
well, our whole family.
Our whole family had it.
I think most people I've spoken to had it between like the end of the year and probably 90% of people I talked to got it on New Year's Eve. Right. And I think that's probably when we started getting sick. But
yeah.
But how many times we've heard people say, "Oh, this is a mild thing," and hi, Caroline. Caroline is welcoming us back. She's written me a few times saying, "When are you guys coming back?"
And we're back.
And I told her we've been very sick. Matt and I had a really, really hard case. I mean, you had more of the pulmonary and I had more of all the other stuff, but this is a serious sickness. It's nothing to joke about.
I still have it. It's still in my lungs a little bit as we speak.
Yeah.
But
for me, I felt like it was all in my head, like the migraines and the dizziness and, brain fog beyond brain fog. I mean, I was like, I can't even describe.
Well, here's the interesting thing. Well, it's all interesting, isn't it? Here's the interesting thing. We had to actually move during this whole thing. So we actually had to move before Christmas, which was fun. And
not
it was lots of fun. And
well, wait a minute. Moving for you is literally you picking up your toothbrush and going, "Okay, now what's the new address?"
Well,
it's a little different.
Necessarily true.
Moving for me is a little different.
I will say this: she is a boxing queen. They actually named Boxing Day after Navah.
Yeah.
So she's actually a boxer. I actually have video to prove it.
Yeah.
So
I have a little experience with being a nomad in my life.
Yes, this is our house pre-move. I'm just going to show it to you. It's a vertical video because Navah shot it.
And I'm that kind of
here it is. She's all about TikTok, TikTok. So
yeah, I'm about TikTok.
This is our house before the move. So take a look.
Here we are, less than 1 week before we move. For the 6th time in 10 years. Brady Bunch of Autism. Mommy packing everything by herself as usual. Why Sir Handel here just hangs out.
There we go.
That's perfect.
That was our life, like for the past, before the move and leading up to the move. And then we moved.
Yeah.
And it was pouring rain when we moved.
Of course.
For several days.
It was like
torrential
Murphy's Law.
Downpours.
The hardest rain of like the last year happened exactly during our 3 days of moving.
And it was rough. But we did, we moved to an oasis, and this is Navah's reward here. I'm going to show you Navah's reward right now.
What is that?
I just noticed
Yay.
that first time I played that, I didn't hear the sirens going off in the background, and that is it sounds kind of crazy, doesn't it? But every time there's a siren at our house, the neighbor's dog howls like
Yeah.
a werewolf. So that was something we didn't know that. Was
And
gonna
believe it or
happen.
not, that is our sheepdog. It looks like a lizard or one
She's
of the
been
dogs
shorn.
from Avatar, but that was Panda.
The dogs from Avatar. So you're happy?
I'm extremely happy.
You're
I love our
happy in the new
house.
house?
I love our house. It's
Yeah.
we fell in love with it because it's in the middle of the valley, but there's something very tropical about it. And I feel very much at home in this house. It's, it really reminds me of Hawaii and
The tiki gods have
the
smiled
tiki
upon
gods.
Navah.
Yes. And
So-
and again, we couldn't have done what we did without our beautiful brother Moses, who I give so much credit to helping us move, because he came from Hawaii, and that's why we're our background, to help us move physically. And wow, he did such an incredible job. But we are finally, I think, settled, and we're really, really blessed
Now
to have found this place.
I have to give Navah tons of credit here, because we moved in, and the first thing Navah wanted to do was to make sure that Will and Eddie had their rooms. What would you say? Clean?
Well, Eddie always says to me, because he was, in general, our community, our kids, they like things structured, and they like their regime to be normal and the same every day. Most of our kids. And Eddie is, on top of everything else, he has pretty severe OCD. So he likes things to go in a very specific manner, and he likes everything to be exactly where it's supposed to be. So for him, it was an extra added layer of anxiety. And so he kept saying to me, "Mommy, you need to make my room smooth. You need to make it smooth again." And
she did. So before the kids came to stay with us at the new house, we we had both rooms painted. Both rooms were painted some wild colors, and I'm going to let you describe each room. So Will's room is what?
It's pretty. I would say it's like almost a fuchsia,
like shocking pink almost.
Well, I mean, there's a backstory to this. We've, Matt and I have lived in many, many homes. We've rented for the last 10 years, and every single house that we moved into, Willie would say to me, "Can I make this room my pink room?" And Eddie would say, "Can I make this room my yellow room?" And we'd have to, really be brutally honest with them and say, "Guys, this is not our house. We can't paint our house." So the first thing I promised the kids when we moved is that they were going to have their pink and yellow rooms. And, our amazing artist, Aviva, went in there with Milo, and they absolutely did the great. We should have brought pictures of that.
I know. Next time we'll do that.
Okay.
But I just want to say to Navah that, she also let me choose the color for our room. And I appreciate the fact that she painted it bright silver.
Yeah,
so
no,
it was nice. Thank you very much.
Not in a million years.
But no, she was great. So Will's room is pink, and Eddie's room is yellow, and it's pretty incredible. They've got these incredible rooms, and I have to say that Navah's created a home already.
The most frustrating thing in the world was that we were so sick. I am not complaining at all, because God was watching over us. If we had been sick the week before, when we were getting ready to move and had to have that physical feat of moving, we would have been, I don't even like to go back there and think what would have happened. So from the time we moved in, at least 2 weeks were about not even been able to raise your head off the bed sick. And then the next 2 weeks were being so tired. This sickness, it lingers for certain people. And for us, it was like you would do the smallest task, and then you'd be drenched in sweat and feel like you're going to pass out. And so unpacking was like a marathon every day. And just in the last week, I would say I'm starting to get my energy back, but I really I really feel affected by this sickness, and it's been, it's been very difficult. It's been very, very difficult. But every day we go home to our house, and we've only just been back in the office for a week, hasn't it been? About
It's
a
been a
week.
week. Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things we did over the break was caught up with a lot of our television, because we've been able to kind of relax. That's all we were able to do,
Matt,
because
we're very exciting people. That's all we've done.
Well, we were fighting COVID, so we caught up on some of the television projects that we were missing.
Yeah.
So one of those was As We See It.
Yes.
Which is a new
Jason
Kadam's show on Amazon. Very impressive, actually. I think,
and we have a lot of friends working on that show. Our own, my big sis Nina Pasquitz was the department head for the hair.
And I think
Violet, Naomi Rubin was.
That's right.
We saw her last night. We're about halfway through.
Yeah, Shannon Penrod said, and I agree with. Well, actually, I think we have one more episode to go. That's it. So just one episode.
Okay.
So Shannon Penrod said that you want to give it at least 2 episodes, and then it really gets good. I have to agree with her. I think after the first 2 episodes, it really picked up steam, and I think the characters became very rich, and you wanted to see what happened to them. And I really we can't recommend it enough. It's a great show.
Our friend Joe Montana had a great role. I actually love his son.
Yeah, amazing.
His character is my favorite of the show.
Very well done. And the thing I think I like about it the most is that the characters are extremely rich, and they kind of jump off the screen, and they're very familiar, and it was a wonderful kind of thing. I'm looking forward to finishing up maybe tonight. But very, very much highly recommended. What else is on your list? You're watching.
Well, I loved Yellow Jackets. I mean, it's not for everyone. It's
a little rough,
pretty
heavy, rough around the edges,
pretty gnarly. Not a kid's show, but I loved it. I thought that was amazing. And when it ended, we were just kind of like, oh no. And it's such a nail grabber.
It's campy, but it's also very serious, and I think definitely worth the investment of time.
And Aviva talked me into watching Euphoria, which gives me nightmares.
This is all uplifting fare.
It's it's every parent's worst nightmare. But Zendaya, I adore her, so I'm enjoying it, and take it with a grain of salt, because it's pretty explicit.
Okay, interesting.
Yes.
So one of the things that we're going to do on the first show of the week, because now we're going to go to 2 shows a week now, for those of you who are watching, and we are going to do a news segment on the first one, which is going to be Tuesdays at 3:00, and so one of our first, we made the news, and we partnered with Shannon Penrod and Doreen Grandpichet. I think I said that right, didn't I? I think I did.
Pretty close.
We did something really wonderful over the holiday. We were very honored to be asked to partner with Shannon and Doreen, and give presents to people who were in need. So I'm going to play you now a story about that wonderful
it's her yearly sensitive
Santa event. And we did it at the center, and she allowed us to do it at the center, and it was wonderful and fun and beautiful. And here's a little bit on that day, courtesy of ABC.
A special holiday treat for families with special needs in Reseda today. The Ed Asner Family Center teaming up with Autism Live this year to host their annual Sensitive Santa. Participants enjoyed a drive-through visit with Santa tailored for those on the spectrum or with other special needs. Organizers say it's important for all kids to have access to things like this that make the holidays special.
The most important thing is we are giving back to the community. The community has been so incredible to us, and really, we just want, my husband and I have 3 autistic sons ourselves. I was a single mom not even 10 years ago, and events like this really matter to these parents who really are struggling.
Families also received toys donated by companies featured in the latest Autism Live toy and gift guide. They help those with autism build valuable skills.
Yay!
So that was our friends at ABC did that story. Thank you so much, guys.
I just have to say a little something because I'm extremely vain.
Okay.
I'm wearing 4 jackets in that thing. I'm not. I just had to say it. It's like the most unflattering picture of me ever.
You
But
look
it was
gorgeous.
like
I don't know
20
what you're talking
degrees
about.
below zero, and we were there all day. So I had to say it.
It was cold.
It was very cold, but
it was fun.
We had such connections that day. I mean, there were so many people that just would, Shannon and I were affected by how grateful these families were, and we both remember a time when we were those parents. We were those moms who couldn't afford to buy our kids holiday gifts, and there were some very, very emotional moments that day.
There were.
We want to do it every year because it was just so wonderful. And we had all the kids there and really made a family event to do this amazing mitzvah. And it was, we were fulfilled just as much as the parents were.
Because that's what the season is all about, right? It's all about, no, it is.
Well, I mean,
it's all about making sure that kids can have their
absolutely,
gifts
absolutely,
and to feel good.
And that feeling, I know coming from the background you did in Bel Air, you wouldn't have that feeling, but I remember those days. And let me tell you, when you're a parent and you can't provide something for your children and somebody gives you something, it's the most wonderful feeling in the world.
Well, and it feels good to give.
Yes,
So,
absolutely, absolutely. But our kids have really laid down the gauntlet because they feel like they were really gypped this year. Yeah. Even though I keep saying, but you got a house and you got a painted room
and a yellow and pink
yeah,
room.
But we really did. We it wasn't our normal holiday season because it was about boxing, our whole house up, and then we literally moved on the 24th.
Yeah. So something special happened yesterday. You want to share?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Navah got some great news yesterday.
I was going to make this big deal out of it with him and everything, but our number 3.
You can still do that.
Yes, I will. I'm going to shout it from the rooftops. Yeah. I'm so proud. But Wolfie and I, on top of everything else, we've been going crazy with all the early applications for Wolfie. And I've talked to you a little bit about how Wolfie did his ACT without his accommodations because I didn't get it in time. And he got this an amazing ACT score, but 16 colleges that Wolfie applied to, but his number 1 school always was the Berklee School of Music in Boston. And yesterday, Wolfie was accepted to the Berklee School of Music. So we are just over the moon. I'm so proud of him. Really and his dream has come true, and that's my dream for him is to go to college. I never got to go. I really wanted to go to college, and I'm just so proud of him. He works so hard and all good things. I'm just, I don't want to get emotional again, but my favorite
part of the news was watching Navah when it came in. So that was fun. I wish I had a camera on her. So Carolyn Clausen's asking, I'm still doing movie chat with Chelsea on Saturdays. We did TV chat on.
Oh, they did a tribute to Bob Saget. How wonderful.
Oh my God. There's too much happening there. I mean, there's
so many beautiful people passing away.
Wonderful people who are passing away both in 2021 and 2022. It's been rough. Yeah. So Bob is really young and what an amazing career he had and it made us all laugh all the time. So it's very sad. So there's a story that I've been following that I want to kind of play for you guys. I'm going to actually play an excerpt from a sermon that a pastor did. I think he's a pastor. Is it preacher or pastor? Pastor Greg Locke. Okay, so I want to play this little piece for you And then we're going to talk about it. Navah and I are going to talk about it a little bit. So hold on. I'm going to just.
And you might have to edit my cuss
words. I might have to edit your curse words?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here we go. We're going to take a listen, Ann. Take a listen and tell me what you think.
Did you know on 3 occasions, we're going to go through all of them, not today, thank God. On 3 occasions, kids were brought to Jesus. Not of their own will or their own volition, but by their parents. That had epileptic fits, anger issues, outbursts of emotion. And because we called it possession, parents refused to deal with it. Are you telling me my kid's possessed? No, I'm telling you, your kid could be demonized and attacked, but your doctor calls it autism.
All right. So there we go. There we go. So that's I'm going to turn this guy off.
Gong him.
Turn him off.
Gong.
All right. So that's Greg Locke. And you heard what he said.
It's terrible.
You know, I mean, I think it's a cop-out.
It's beyond a cop-out. I mean, it's disgusting.
Yeah, I mean,
it's absolutely Whoopi Goldberg level disgusting.
So I think he owes the autistic world an apology. Not sure what you guys think. Maybe you can write in and say what you do think. I mean, what did you think of that sound?
It's like saying a midwife is a witch because she, she delivered a baby in a way that they thought was, I don't know. I guess this guy just makes me furious, and it's, this is why so many kids were in institutions.
I think I
thought they were some,
To me, it's very easy to say someone's possessed by a demon. But I mean, look, it seems like we're constantly in a battle between science and religion, and I think it's a very, very slippery slope when you start talking to when you start telling people that they're possessed by a demon, the people who are autistic. I just think
he also said it wasn't just autistic.
Karen Clausen says he's definitely should apologize to the autism community.
He said any mental illness was demonic.
Well, and before that little sound clip, he also talked about OCD and was talking about OCD and how people with
making
OCD,
fun of a woman who was washing her hands incessantly. And
so this is Pastor Greg Locke. Shame on you. Look him up. There's actually an interesting article about it in a thing called the Baptist News Global, and it's actually very critical article on him. But I don't know.
It's terrible.
I just thought it was an important thing to kind of highlight because this guy's, and the thing that struck me is I'm watching the guy, right? I watched the guy for quite a while. I watched his whole sermon.
What was the audience? What was the response? Because you couldn't really tell if they were outraged or if they were.
I don't think they were outraged. I think there were probably some people in the audience who were outraged. I mean, but I think, look, this guy speaks on Sundays and Wednesdays to his congregation. And I'm sure that his stuff is always that flavorful.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that they're used to that kind of savory, comment. My feeling is, I actually think, he does a great job. He's very, good at what he does, but the content really is not, it's not appropriate.
I don't know if I'd say he's good at what he does.
Well, I mean, he's a pastor. He's a pastor.
He
preaches to his congregation.
Where is he located?
I think, let's take a look. I think he's in
North Carolina.
Is that what it said? Located in Lattimore, North Carolina. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Lattimore, North Carolina. So, it's one of those things that I'll never understand how people can get away with that. How there isn't a bigger uproar.
So it's like he's from a different century. You know, I mean, it's really
Yeah.
different. It's so backwards and so ignorant, and so he's an idiot.
Well,
I could
how do you
say
really
I
feel?
could say the F word.
Really?
He's a F word idiot.
Well, okay. So what do we have on our next show? Coming up?
On our next show, I'm very excited because you know, we've had to
When
kind
is
of
our-
pull the
when-
plug.
look-
There was this surge,
Yeah.
and so safely we pulled the plug of our reopening in January. And February 28th is going to be our third session of the dating spectrum. And every single dating spectrum, Chris and I really, really wanted to continue with the Ed Asner Family Center's kind of mission and drive is to have actual autistics, not just helping us create the curriculum, which Chelsea Darnell did with the original dating spectrum, but co-teach and be a real integral part of having our community feel that we didn't have just some expert preaching to them about what an autistic feels like when they're out on a date. We wanted our program to be authentic and have actual autistics be part of the teaching, not just the curriculum creation. So this year, I'm excited. This season, we have Tom Island, who will bring a male perspective because we've always had wonderful female specialists before. And Tom is an amazing guy. He's a life coach in our community. He's a worldwide public speaker and just an amazing guy. And I really think that to have the male perspective is going to be really interesting. So on Thursday, we're going to have Tom join us with our regular guest, which will be Krissa, our mental health director, will be here every Thursday to join us. And Thursday, you can catch the Brady Bunch of Autism twice a week. Thursday.
Twice during the day.
Yes.
Twice during the day. It's 12:30 and 4:30.
Right. It's
and then or 12 and 4:30. When?
It's still twice a week.
Oh, yeah.
One day.
One day, but then also here on Tuesday at 3:00. So two days, 3:00 on Tuesdays live, and then on Thursday at 12:30. Is it 12:30? Did we say 12:30? Steve, do you know? I check your local listings. I think it's at 12:30, but yeah, that's on Thursday. So well, this has been fun and quick and.
Yes.
Quick and easy. And I'm glad you joined us today.
And everyone keep safe out there. Wear your masks. Keep safe. Keep washing your hands and
masking up.
Yes, absolutely. And next week we'll have more on marriage, kids, family, and all things special needs and center.
And I haven't decided yet who I'm going to root for. If it's going to be the Rams or it's going to be the Bengals, because I really don't have a horse in the race. I'm not a big Rams fan. I was a Chiefs fan.
It's about the colors.
I was a Chiefs fan. I wanted the Chiefs to win.
The Bengals have the orange, safety orange.
So are you going for the Bengals?
I'm going for the Bengals.
Okay, then I might go for the Rams then.
Yes.
So we can have a fun house that day.
Okay.
Okay.
I actually like football. I don't mind it.
All right. You heard it here first. Navah loves football.
I don't.
Okay,
love
everyone.
it, but
keep your seatbelts fastened. We'll see you in the next show.
Have a great week, everyone.
Bye-bye.